Hi there, friends. Today is Tuesday, September 27th, and it's Technique Tuesday. I'm going to show you how to do what we call the faux tile look. So that is what this technique is. You can see that I've created a tile pattern on this card. So let's get some tools out so we can get this going. I'm actually going to use my paper trimmer, and I'm going to use the track in here. But instead of using the scoring blade, which is the light gray one, I find that it gives too light a look for what I want. I'm going to use the scoring blade that comes with the Take Your Pick tool. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about this cool tool. So here's the Take Your Pick tool. It comes like this. You get the interchangeable heads, an extra putty. So these putty ends are literally have putty on the end of them so you can lift small embellishments up. The two end thin or thick scoring blades or tools. I'm going to use the thin one. And it also comes with a spatula, and then the other end is a sharp pokey tool. And I use this when I'm poking little pieces out of my die cuts. So that's what you get for $14 is all this here. If you have a die cutting machine and you also want to have the die brush, you can purchase the die brush attachment to put right onto your Take Your Pick tool. Just screws into the end where the putty was, okay? And then you can take the pokey end and stick it in here. It does come with it doesn't come with a barrel, it just comes with the brush, but it also comes with two of these mats, so that's what you'd be doing it on. So I just purchased two of these barrels so that I have mine set up that this is for my die brush and that's for poking out the die pieces. And then on my regular Take Your Pick tool, I have the putty end and I have the scoring blade. So let me just get right to what we're going to do here. I've got a piece of white cardstock that measures, and that part is not all that important, 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, and I've got my stylus end here for this. So the first score line does not matter at all. You can put it at whatever angle you'd like. I'm not going to have it go in too far. I'm going to have the point touch it about a 1/2 inch, just so that I get a good amount of strokes in one go. And I'm going to do it every 1 inch, but you can do it every 1/2 inch if you like. So with this down the track, I'm just going to press that over. Now I've got a line down the track right here. I just want to make it really dark so you can see it. And I'm going to line that score line at the 1 inch. If you wanted to make your tiles smaller, you would line it up at the 1/2 inch or the 3/4 inch, and then I'm going to score it again. All right, and then I'm going to line that one up with the 1 inch over to the right and repeat. So you're just going to basically keep doing this all the way across, lining your 1 inch up. Scoring down, maybe one more. It gets longer, it's a little bit more to look at. Go. I might be able to get one more in there. No. Okay, so I have vertical lines this way. They're on a diagonal. Now I'm going to turn it. Now this part, I don't think you need to be too concerned about either. If you want to have it show up as a perfect square tile, well, you go ahead. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm just going to turn it on again on the angle, so it doesn't matter what angle you're specifically on. What matters is that you go 1 inch again over and line up that score line with the 1 inch to the right. Continue to score all the way across. So you could do this on your scoreboard, but it'd be difficult because the scoreboard goes, the lines go all in the same straight up and down. So when we had a diagonal piece for this simply scored, it would have worked out nicely. But this is great, just down the track of your Stampin' trimmer, works just great. You're on that last little bit. We just want to line it up because it's not got a lot to grab onto. There we go. Line it up and press down to hold the track in place. Okay. So when I'm done, I have sort of a tiled look, and I wouldn't really want it square. It's nice having it on a nice little angle. So we're done with the tool. The next thing we want to do is add something darker to it. So this is my smoky slate. I'm just going to grab a piece of scratch paper over here to work off of. Smoky slate and my blending brush. So it's going to just get some smoky slate on there, and I'm going to just, on this pad of paper, just kind of get it so that I'm not going to go down and end up with a big splotch like that. I want it to go quite nicely and easily. So I'm just going all the way around, just because you need to. You can't just have it all pure white. The lines won't show up so well. This way you can actually see the grout or the groove lines on your tile. So this is called the faux tile technique, aptly named. And you can make it as light or as dark as you want. The last one I did in crumb cake, and this one in smoky slate. So it would be more like a very light gray tile if you were equating it to something you would do in your home. Just wanting to get some dark in this particular spot here. There we go. Okay, so now I've added some definition to my piece. I'm going to do as I did on the other one. I'm going to go ahead and stamp something. So I picked the Forever Blossoms stamp set, and I want to use this lovely large image here, which I always find is a bit daunting to color in, but if I do it like this in a technique, I'm really happy with the result. So this is using the E block. You could use your Stamparatus as well. That may work too if you're concerned about not getting enough coverage. And I'm just going to use the same ink pad. I'm just going to pick up a little hair I see sitting on my ink pad. Just with that pokey tool. There we go. I'm going to ink it up all the way around. This may be a really good use for your Stamparatus. I'm just going to go all in here. And I'm going to put this on a bit of an angle. Press down. There we go. And you can see that the lines of the tile are part of the image now too. And then I have a greeting that I've already done and a few extra pieces. So I'm going to use my regular card base. This one is Blushing Bride, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and burnished in the middle. I don't want to just put it directly on there. I want to have some smoky slate behind it. Let's give it a little more definition. I'll grab my Stampin' Seal. And I learned a trick where sometimes it doesn't start right away. And I learned this trick from a friend. If you go on your silicone mat, that will get it going forward and you'll get your seal started. I thought that was a brilliant idea. All right, so I'm going to stick this on top of a piece of smoky slate, which is just slightly larger. And then I love putting a piece of ribbon down along here. And this stuff is lovely. It's just adds that little bit of shimmer. It's called metallic mesh ribbon, and it's about 2 inches, 1.5 inches wide. So you can crinkle it up if you like, or you can have it just be light and the whole width across, whatever you'd like to do with it. It does not fray that I've worked with before. It's all a meshy attachment there, so it's all good. I don't have a lot of luck tying bows with this, so I'm just going to go ahead and tie a knot, and I'm good with that. And I can pull it out and fan it out a little bit if I want, because I don't want it to be too thick for mailing either. I'm just going to move that down just a little bit, trim off the edge. Actually, it doesn't need much trimming, just a little bit here, just maybe a little bit on this side. Here we go. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals to pop it up. And that will give it a little bit of height. Lately, I've been using a nice number of 5, one in each corner and one in the center when I'm doing a layer. And I'm popping it up. Here we go. And oops, that lined up nicely. And then my greeting I already did just to make it go a little more quickly. You mean so much to me from the same set. And I think I'm just going to do it on a little bit of an angle like that. And try and replicate the same sort of angle here, rather than flagging the ends. Lots of little pieces to use up. And then with my mini dimensionals, I'll pop this up on the page. Another use for your take your pick tools to take the backings off these, but I don't do that too much, but it is another way you can do it. All right, so it is now. I might add a little bit of embellishment to it. Let's add some rhinestones. I find that this ribbon has lots of beautiful sparkle to it. But let's add a couple of rhinestones for a little bit more pizzazz. 2. I think 2 is good. All right, it's a nice balance. So there we go. That is the faux tile technique. I hope you give this a try. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll post the still photos so you can see them a little more up close. Have a lovely evening. Bye for now.